So Zach, can a hint on what you got in one in particular? That ceremony night experience when people were cured around in a teepee and a full moon, all in not in the jungle, and all those things that I've described previously are zoned in and were in in that moment. So I knew that it was a pretty strong message from the plant to recede and glitter and caught and wood. And ayahuasca has an intelligence, a personality. It realizes you and me, whatever that means. It has its own being and sap, and it defies the pretty strong willow mother and the truer self that is accumulated throughout your journey. And I'm not just taking this thing to equally show up in the space with a meditation. I'm in them going through the levels and going working through all of these culturally appropriate momentary tears and approaches. So the point is not the throwing up and the deep cleansing level, but the capacity to enlighten and through this beautiful process that you can see and you can experience physically. Uh, so with Shikyu and patterns, whatever it is, all being able to heal and something grows, something really stems out of the sort of a triangle, like a very stable structure, and better not pay a lot of money for it. But sometimes you have to go to one of those retreats that costs about 5, 6, 10, and it doesn't sound right sometimes in the moment, like paying such a huge amount. But there's recently there's been a surge in usage and pathogen control. People show up to the ceremonies intoxicated and not accepting of the reality of truth of the abuse that they've been imposing onto all of us with the images and the idolatry. And I'd much rather uh, be in an ensemble dancing and processing the deep breaches in on the mental plane, the cross chain. And if the gallery of human processes cohorts and catches up with Hugh people in Amish and the indigenous tribes and sensing the wool pots on TikTok, for example. Or all in the jungle doing the deep dives and going through that dimension of collecting information and data to integrate in our homes and to experience the singularity of all being. And I do feel that openness. I still recall it very strongly, and I don't question it in that. I know that the meditation is continuing, and there's a sweet 10 cycle, like a half moon. Um, and I'm deepening into that astrological feeling of peace, and just as bad as anyone else. So that is what I'm telling you. You're being and you're existing through the loops and the loopholes, doing the same things on the vernacular level, and using the sweet and looped up. The open spaces where you can find connections and tangent people and like simple actions like brushing your teeth or brushing your hair or your morning mask for your skin routine ritual. You know, the experience in the jungle definitely brings all of that into your the awareness zone. It's the arm.apk, you know, all of it coded. And whatever you know gives you the code to unlock and decipher or whichever piece that is missing in you because it's singularity. Therefore, you get the piece of information that was not there before, and I will somehow trade it in that crypto space with you, not the money because once the word is monetized in one singular context, then we all lose the ability, the natural ability to use it in another one. And then there's someone insisting, how come you've used the word? And then this one, if we're using it in, solely in the one that we approve of as a community or society, it's really annoying in the States. Everyone who's an English speaker outside of the States knows, or not everyone, because that's a generalization, and we hate generalizations, even though hating something is also generalizing. Like, I hate something. I hate generalizations. Invalidated in the Muppet Show that we all are in that first dimension. Followings and follow-ins, subscribe and repeat. That's a fangula, and the fang is like a vampire. So it's the central theme in the polytheistic experience of the bonobo monkeys that we are. The teacher imminently healing, and the spiritual, the spirit, and we understand all of it and none of it again and again, because it's just binary zeros and ones in a special way, read out into the Bible and filling that horror depth, the Marianne. What is it? Never mind. Just never mind, because minding gets people to schizophrenia. And that's that whole system of slowing down and Catan France and Pakinen, that well adjusting to just knowing that Icaros are using the same methodology, just producing combinations of syllables that get decoded by the singular individual in whichever way that gives them that experience of the hallucination and then the purge, because all of that can be reprogrammed, right? So the code shifts from the listener to the speaker to the text from the current circumstances, and then you're always going to hear it in a different way, because the amount of brain cells that are tuning into one task or the other varies, and that happens instantaneously. And that I love you, and I really want to switch the field with you. So that's a deep quenching of that philosophical thirst that leads to a much bigger indigenous queer eye understanding of the challenge in front of us that brings you back to life, Evanescence. So you can't have court if you don't have a palace or castle. You can't outdo the plastics. You can't fight anymore, because it's just infecting yourself with the radiance of the mutual two. If you know that there are consequences, you attune yourself to the surrender and the remedy in the shaman. So you go back to the jungle and you seek out that connection with yourself, that deep commute. And it's just casual, contractual, sensual sex. And you can probably groom yourself before the ritual so that you show up clean and smelling of roses. So that's the chocolate, and just me. And you know more than you think you know. And that's what I've experienced myself in that second ceremony. I was going through some stuff and cheering myself up in the process, because I knew that I'm going through the darkness of the soul, that dark night, and all of this ayahuasca flowing through my veins, and integrating it ever since that second ceremony out of 40 plus, 35 plus that I've done. And there's this Sanskrit word. I was asking for it to appear in my third eye, but it never did, so I just dropped it. So again, July, August are good months astrologically for Tauruses to participate in circles. I know that much. And I talk Aho blessing the entity and in the violet spectrum that it's radiating in. The bless plus word and the little code that's just ruffling the feathers for attention. So look out for more content and be on the lookout in general.